This is a wonderful find, and it's an archaeological shock. 2,000-year-old Mount Ebal discovery proves biblical story. Actually, it was way before 2,000 years old. This is by Callum Express UK. Archaeologists uncovered the site of Mount Ebal, dating back to biblical period, leading some to say that it proves, of course, the story of the Old Testament. The book of Joshua. Okay, so it's way before 2,000 years, about 3,500 years ago. The book of Joshua. Joshua, as we know, took the leadership of the Israeli tribes from the Exodus from Egypt, from Moses. So that was 40 years after the Exodus. Joshua was their leader. The book of Joshua, found in the Old Testament, tells of how one of Moses' assistants who built an altar of stones where the Israelites made peace offerings. Much later in the book, Joshua was, when he was old and dying, gathered the people together at Shechem, and gave a farewell speech. And the archaeologist in the 1980s, Adam Zertal, conducted a land survey in Manasseh, and that included Mount Ebal, where the team identified an anomaly about 150 meters below the peak. And the Bible Discovery TV revealed why they thought this find was relevant to biblical teaching. The series said the book of Deuteronomy records a command to Joshua to hold a ceremony on Mount Ebal, to build an altar there, set up standing stones, and had the covenant written on them. Mount Ebal was probably chosen as a place of covenant renewal for many reasons. First, it flanks the city of Shechem, which was a major center of political religious gatherings in Canaan. Control of this area demonstrated God's power. Secondly, Mount Ebal is the tallest mountain in northern Samaria, and it demonstrates the importance and commanding a view of nearly all of what will become Israel. And also, most Israelite Iron Age archaeological findings come from this area of Manasseh, where Mount Ebal is found. The series also revealed why biblical scholars think there's a link with the book of Joshua and Joshua's time and the altar. They say this gives some evidence to believe that there is where most of Israel resided in the early settlements and into the time of the judges. So a religious center on Mount Ebal would give access to most of these Israelites. And after the mentions in Deuteronomy and Joshua, Mount Ebal is never mentioned in the Bible again. But now, modern times, Mount Ebal has been the center of controversy, with findings of late archaeologist Adam Zertal. A pile of stones on Mount Ebal received several seasons of excavations due to the Iron Age pottery scattered on the surface. Zertal interpreted what he found beneath the pile as a massive altar of burnt offerings dating to biblical period of the Judges. But there is more evidence than just the coinciding story, and according to the series, they say, at first his findings sparked a scholarly firestorm of disagreement, but today it's generally accepted he did find a cultic site that corresponds to biblical sacrificial restrictions. The apparent altar is made of natural uncut stones and filled with alternating layers of earth, ash, bone, and stone. Not only is this a known construction style of ancient altars, but the bones are also ritually clean, edible animals, pointing to the use as an Israelite cult center. Unlike pagan altars with stars, this one was ascending via a ramp as commanded in Exodus 20. And while the altars date at a time of Joshua, Zertal found at the center of it an older circular altar dug into the bedrock. He said it could be that Joshua's construction. The location, timing, and archaeology all line up, even though some archaeologists agree with the consideration that the site was an altar compound, and some that it was a cultic location. Others think that it was simply a farmhouse and guard tower. So they're arguing concerning the paved areas are simply rooms, the sloping wall simply an eroded partition wall, and the infilled enclosure a room that was later changed to a tower. according to Express UK. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.